I talk about my feelings a lot, and who I am as a person to my closest friends a lot. Kind of make it everyday talk. But as much as how much I say I realize some things, or I go through something like a very big change and something very devastating for someone to go through in their life, it's kind of hard to move on from those things. And for me, I kind of found a little way to do it, but at the same time, it's like fell off a lot of time. I kind of realized this journey that I'm taking to better my mental health. You know, it's been a struggle, and it's not easy. For someone my age, I just turned 23 a couple of days ago. The older I get, it just feels like it's just gonna get worse. What I mean by that is like getting worse. Not particularly, it's going to get worse, but it just feels like it because it feels like I've been fighting my whole life, and leading up to this moment where I am right now, it's like I still feel the way that I do before, and feels like I have more, but in the process, it's like I'm losing, you know. I wanted to start this topic off more than anything. It's just, more with just attachment. Yeah, attachment. That's a pretty big thing that I had to actually deal with for a very long time that I still struggle with till this day. You know, going through when I was in a relationship, I was getting beat on, getting yelled at, the name the worst the worst things, that you could probably imagine. And mind you, when I was going through this whole relationship, I didn't really have the relationship with my family that I used to. And I've always kind of wanted to have that. I mean, our family's always been jagged because, all of us kind of are separated. Everyone is. No one is kind of talking to each other, kind of all on our own in a sense. And I kind of feel like that's what makes me a little different from everybody else. It's like I try to bring people together, and especially when I was in my family, I was always that type of person to try to bring everyone together, try to love and see everybody, despite of how you treat me or how bad you've done me. It's like I'll still be there for you. You know, and with attachment, it's like a scary thing sometimes because whenever I do talk to somebody or you're getting into in a relationship, it's like you're a little scared because of the past relationships. You're kind of scared that that person, even though they're good in this moment, you don't know if at the end of the day if they're going to turn around and be something different. If they're going to be that old person that did you dirty. You know what I'm saying? Even then, like you just don't know if that person's going to be patient with you. You know. Having a relationship with your family is, kind of very well. Not kind of. It is a very important thing. I was without my family for a very long time on my own journey. 'Cause when I moved out when I was 17 years old, I kind of thought, oh, I could take it everything on my own. Life is not going to be that tough. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be easy. It's going to be rainbows and it's gonna be flowery, beautiful, all whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like you're gonna do great in it. Whenever you're a teenager, wanting to go into adulthood because you don't want to be with your parents no more. You want to have that freedom for yourself. Well, it's like once you gain that freedom, it's kind of hard to come back to the life that you went to. You know what I'm saying? And I had to deal with that. When I moved out at 17 years old and I decided to move in with a girl that I didn't even have to move in with, but I did. And I'm only saying I didn't have to, but I did anyways because when I was in the position, that person told me, "You either come with me or come without me." And that's where my attachment issues like kind of played a role in.